I'm Nicole Carter. I'm the author of Sketchnoting in the Classroom, and I'd like to share a few ideas and tips with you.
In today's short video, we're going to be talking about containers and banners. If you don't have a handle on your handwriting, you really could write something out and then realize that it's important later, and you can come back and put a container around it. Oftentimes I'll write something and then come back and put a container. I don't know if you've ever tried to draw some sort of box or something and then try and fill it with your writing, and you inevitably have too much and it goes outside of your box and then it doesn't look nice. So try to write first and then go back and put your container around it. So containers can be, it can be a speech bubble or a thought bubble, which I briefly talked about before. So if you know the difference between a speech bubble and a thought bubble, let's go ahead and do that now. So usually, typically a speech bubble is some sort of like thought cloud with these little bubbles coming off of it. So I typically use these in my notes when I have a question or a thought about what I'm learning. Speech bubbles, it's just a circle. And before you complete that circle, you add your little triangle or tail. If you've ever read certain books, certain comic books, you'll know too that it doesn't have to be a circle. It could be lots of different shapes, like a square. So this helps if you have like a character asking a question. It's great for podcasts when you have people asking questions. Clearly a container can be a circle. It can be, I love this one, thinking of it as kind of like a Batman, wow, pow, call out. I don't know what you call it, but something like that. Obviously a square. Squares are kind of boring though, so let's think about ways we can jazz those up. I want to erase that. There we go. Okay. So we could do a square that has stitches, like it's a patch. You can do, this is one I use a lot. I'll put circles in the corners. They look like nails to me, like I nailed something there. That's made it important. You could think about like a cork board. We use push pins or tacks, and that just needs a circle with a triangle coming off of it. You also could do tape. Tape is just two parallel lines on either corner with the zigzag, like you tore it from the tape dispenser. Sometimes I'll do like the little reflective lines. So I think of it as Scotch tape, right? Okay. Oh, and then the 3D box, a 3D box. And sometimes I will do, so these are those table legs again. Connect those table legs and you've got yourself a 3D box or a button. I will oftentimes combine like the nails with the 3D box. Oh, sometimes when I do a 3D box too, I'll kind of like shade it in on the sides like this a little bit. Okay, let's talk about some banners. So one option is to draw kind of a ribbon shape like that. And then I think of these as kind of like Frankenstein knobs. Draw these little knobs on the side. And then pick a side. I'll do this one over here, where I draw this little line and then I just fill in this little triangle. So it makes it look like it's coming up and over the pole. You can do the exact same idea, but instead of going up with your ribbon, you can do a down angle. Again, still those like little Frankenstein knobs. And then come down with a little angle off to the side. All right, the last one is usually typically someone says, oh yeah, that's great. And this is your typical banner. So give yourself a little bit of room and we're going to draw a rectangle. And then halfway down, we're going to give our little rectangle some whiskers. And then a little bit inside on the bottom, come down with the line and give this guy, I'm going to come in a little bit more, give this guy some feet. Now you're going to draw a line that is equal to the whisker up above in length. Give yourself a little ribbon end right here. Okay, now this is like the trickiest part, but hopefully you can see it. By this time, usually a lot of people can see what we're trying to accomplish here. You're going to connect this line or corner to that corner, and do it on the other side too. This corner to that corner. Yes, there we go. So this is just a banner. So these are great for titles. These are great when you have like specific like ideas that are more important than others. Draw a container around it. If you're just doing some revisiting of content and information, or you're doing some close reading notes, adding some containers or thought bubbles around some of your ideas, or calling out specific information with containers is just going to be super helpful. All right, we're going to stop it there. Thank you so much for joining me. And don't forget, you can find my book on Amazon.